Hey everyone, and welcome to a new episode of my Parkitect Sandbox Park. Now, in the last episode, I built this Accelerator coaster. It has quite a short layout, and I'm really fond of this tunnel over here in this rocky section. And what I think it's kind of missing is some nice supports. So in this episode, I will add some supports to the coaster. Now, I did see some a nice example of some good-looking supports in one of the pre-designed coasters. Let me see if I can find it. I believe it's this one. So this one's called Heat Horizon, and as you can see, it has some nice supports over here, right to the back. And that's definitely the style that I want to go for. So just going to take a quick peek at it. This definitely looks doable. It's really simple enough, and I think it also looks great, and it's definitely a kind of support that you would see on this type of coaster. So it looks like it's just made of pillars connected with those border pieces. And it should be fairly simple to recreate something like that. Now, something which I should also do in this episode is something which I kind of neglected, and that's add a station for this monorail. So probably this part of the monorail, I'll probably put some extra rocks around here, so that guests really enter this area somewhere over here using the monorail, and here it will bend around, and we will probably have a station likely somewhere over here. And if I've added the supports and the monorail station, probably I will do some landscaping after that. And that should all be enough to fill another episode. Anyway, the first thing I'm going to do is add some supports to this coaster. Alright, I'm really happy with the way these supports look. They're not exactly the same like the example that I had, but they are quite similar in the end. And I think they look nice and sturdy, and definitely much better than having this one support just hold up the track. So definitely really happy with this one. Maybe I'll try to add some piece to actually connect these two here. But I think it's believable enough. Yeah, and I think it's definitely looking very nice here. So I'm really happy with these supports. Actually quite easy to make. Was a bit tricky trying to find the right color, but in the end I think it worked out really well. Alright, with that done, I'm going to complete the monorail track once again. Now, I will not pass under this track, but rather I will just pass next to the track. I think it will give the monorail riders a nice view. And I will just pass to here, and somewhere over here I will make a new monorail station. Alright, it looks like the monorail is actually getting quite crowded in several of the stations. Especially in this station, not really sure why that is. Maybe it's because there's a new coaster here and there's lots of people going to this area because for that reason. But yeah, I think it's safe to add another train to the monorail. We have 4 stations now, so 3 trains should definitely be good for this ride. Alright, I think the monorail will now run without issue once again, once this crowd here clears up a bit. Alright, again, it's just a really simple building for the monorail. It's quite rectangular, but I did try to put some variation in it by varying up the colors a bit. So the lower floor is now this darker color wood, and the upper floor, where the actual monorail enters the station, is a lighter color of wood. I think that's already a way to make the building a little bit more interesting, and just also added some of these rocks, some of these plants next to it, and some of these dynamite pieces of dynamite in crates. So I think that definitely helps make this boring bland building look more interesting. Alright, with this done, yeah, I kind of want to spruce up the area a little bit more. And I think something which will be important for the area is that it actually has a nice backdrop, kind of like a border. So yeah, I'm just going to add rocks all around this area, and that will just give it a little bit more of a defined border. Alright, I've now added a little path over here. Yeah, I also decorated this area with some rocks, some plants, mostly cacti and some of these prickly plants. And I think this area over here is actually perfect to place some shops and stalls. So over here I will make a little plaza with a little restaurant or just some place for guests to get some food. Some seating places, and probably also some toilets, since we didn't place any toilets over here in this area. So yeah, I think this will be a really good spot for that. Alright, yeah, I am really fond of this new area, so yeah, just added 2 little shops here inside this building. Just added lots of benches right next to it, some crates, plants, little rails for decoration. Actually, while I'm at it, let's add some of these lamps as well. So that will definitely make it look nicer at night. There we go. And it also just immediately provides some decoration, which is always good. Alright, yeah, that's probably enough lights for now. So yeah, I'm really happy with this new area here. Just some shops inside this little building. Building is nothing special, but it works. This hauler seems utterly confused. I don't know what's up with him. Okay, he now actually seems to be doing something. Alright, yeah, let's add a little depot to supply these shops here. Some toilets. Yeah, I am really happy with this new area here with these shops. Anyway, yeah, just a little recap what I did in this episode. So first we went over here and I added some supports for this coaster. I think these supports look great, and was definitely a good example that I could use from the ride designs from the Steam workshop. That was great. I also completed the monorail. So finally we have a finished monorail that goes throughout the park. We have a station over here, quite close to the entrance. We have a station over here in this spooky area. We have a station over here right next to the icy area. And now we also have a station over here on this side of the park. In this new canyon deserty area. So yeah, I'm really happy with the monorail, and for sure it will be fun to take a tour through the park on the monorail when the park is completely finished in the end. So yeah, I'm quite looking forward to that. Not really sure how good of a feel we get from the monorail, but I'm sure it will be fun. Alright, and after I did this ride, I just made a rock border all around this area, and yeah, that will definitely define the border of this area a bit more. And for the guests who are walking around here, since there's this rocky background everywhere you view, yeah, it will be a good way for the guests to stay immersed in this area, in the scenery. So I think that's definitely a good addition here. Alright, with that, yeah, that's going to be all for this episode. I hope you enjoyed watching me build. I really had a lot of fun making this section of the park, and I think in the next episode, yeah, I will add one last ride to the park, maybe 2 rides. But yeah, this is definitely a nice area to work with, and I think we can definitely fit another coaster into the park right here. But yeah, park's almost finished. I think it's actually starting to look quite nice. Alright, I really hope you enjoyed watching me build. If you liked it, please consider giving this video a like. I would really like it if you did, and it would really help out my channel. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you again in the next one. See you later.